So far, I guess in my fourth time bringing it out, I forgot to shoot a video. When I brought it out, the third time, like at night, the first time in the darkness. I kind of went way down towards West Chicago. I drove like about 5 minutes or longer. I actually went much farther. I tried to drive extra fast. It does go kind of fast, but I can't really tell because the speedometer gauge needle is not working. It didn't really smoke so bad when I first came out last night. Just now. It didn't really smoke. It kind of smelled like something burned, through the air vents. It did smell like oil. It's gonna smell like oil. So when I checked it on the other side, I checked it in the Walmart store. I checked it out in the Walmart store down in West Chicago. I pulled up in the Walmart store and checked it. The oil looked like it went all the way down to quarter, down on the dipstick. And yeah, I checked it with the engine off. And when it actually sat there for like a couple of minutes while I was there doing something else, I checked the oil again and it kind of came back up. It did look watery though, but it came back up a little bit. It came back up quite a bit. It looked like, I could have swore it was 3/4, I'm not sure. But I think it might have some kind of a oil pump issue. It might. I think so. But other than that, let me turn the light back on. I just don't like being seen. I don't want nothing looking back at me up in there. Other than that, I did forget to carry oil with me. So I came back trying to shift gears at 1000 RPM, 1100 RPM. I tried to hold it at 10 and 11 because I'm thinking it's probably burning oil too fast. So now I came back to the yard over here and then added, that's when I got them extra jugs that I bought at Walmart. I don't know if I can turn it on. Them extra jugs you see right back there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one of them are 2.5 gallons, and that blue one is just 2 gallons. Those are the extra large jugs. This is save money, so to speak. That white one, I finished using what was in it. I didn't use all of those. All of them brand new ones, them black ones and the blue one, they're all brand new. They've never been opened before. But that white one, I only used what was left of it. There was like 1/4 of oil in there. What the hell is it? So that's what happened. Anyway, I was thinking of doing an oil change tomorrow morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning I'm thinking of doing an oil change. And yeah, the oil looks bad. So when I came back out the fourth time, the second time tonight, not the fourth, excuse me. The first time tonight, I went down, came back up. It didn't really smoke at all coming back. I guess that's because I held the RPMs to 1000 and 1100. They used to use the word 1000, but I think it's 1100, and they're using the 100 zone now. I think 1000 RPMs is probably for cars. It's like it didn't smoke at all when I came back. So now when I went back out and then came back the second time, just like how y'all saw me, that's when I turned the camera on. That's when I turned the cell phone on and started shooting the video. You see, I forgot. So the second time when I came back, when I went to the Walmart a couple of miles down the road, much farther, and came back here in the drop yard when I was videotaping this, it didn't smoke at all. And it hardly ever smelled like oil. The reason why I'm thinking is because I held the RPMs at a low, very low range. Instead of 1300 or 1200 or even 14, like regular speed, I kind of held the RPMs at 10 and 1100 only, most of the way. I did kind of bring it up to 13 a little bit. 12 and 13, and then it came back down. I didn't feel like bringing it up. So my reason for not really increasing the RPMs is because it's going to rush more oil into the cylinders. It's going to rush oil past the valve guides. If the valve guides are, cracked, or the valve guides are cracked and seeping oil, I'm thinking the harder you accelerate, the more pressure is going to build through those cracks and get into the cylinder and the combustion chamber. So it did almost no oil, no smoke at all. And it did smell, it smelled like burnt oil the second time when I went to the Walmart. The first time and the second time. Through the dashboard air vents. Excuse me. Hold on for a second. It did smell like burnt oil, but not so heavy. But I didn't see any oil coming through the air, like I didn't see any mist. No, not mist. I didn't see any smoke or nothing in the street lights or nothing. I didn't see none of that. It was crystal clear. But that doesn't mean it's okay. It's not okay. This truck is still sick. It's still worn. Concerning the shifting, the reason why it's grinding is because I'm thinking the shifter fork inside the transmission might be bent. I'm not sure. I don't think that's possible. I'm just guessing. I'm just trying to make sense out of it. It's like it floats gears pretty easy. I remember which one to use now. It's like come out of 6. Wait, now hold on. Let me see if I could turn this on. No, that's not it. Alright. I guess, hold on a second. First, it could be like first. I forgot where first gear is. First, second, third, fourth. You come over here and then go here instead. You don't come all the way over here and go back here. That's reverse. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. That ain't reverse. Yeah, it is. In a way it is, I think. When you have the splitter down, you come back over. No, hold up. Reverse is up here. I'm sorry. Back here and up here is reverse. I don't know if 6th gear is over here, but you come out of here. You come out of this side, splitter up, and then come over. You come over here and go here next, and then go down. You go here, range selector forward, use it, come back, go back there, range selector forward, use that, and come over here and go back here, range selector forward, and then you come back. Actually, I don't think. Yeah, that's how you do it. You come back, and then you complete it. But it seemed like if you're downshifting, you come out of this gear, you gotta go forward with this one and then go forward, because this is low range, this is high range. High range because you're going into the first smaller gear, and then you're trying to match. It's kind of hard to explain. I understand why it works that way. You don't want to downshift and have this back here. You're going to rev the RPMs much higher. This is high, this is low. So you go forward. You want to come back out, you want to downshift one more time, come over here, go forward, yeah, like that. Something like that, I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Let me start over. Downshift, you go forward, like that. And then you tap the, no, wait a minute. While your foot's on the pedal, while your foot's on the pedal, you come back over here, and then you tap it again to downshift it. And if you want to downshift into the next gear, you go forward again and come over here, and you get back on the pedal. You get off the pedal, get back on. And you want to downshift it again, you use this again. Hold up. You use that, you get off the pedal, up, downshift. You get up. Yo, the cell phone's blurry. Alright, it's kind of hard to I mean, I know what I'm talking about. I did this in, what was it? I drove a 18, what was it? I drove a 18 speed, I think, in 2001 to 2001 to 2003. And somewhere in between it was 10s, automatics, and then came back to came to a 13 in 2012, the end of 2012. And then somewhere in between it was straight 10s or something like that, super 10s, straight 10. And then you float through Western Express. It was like, automatic and manual automatic, and then all of a sudden I come back to this. Yeah, so it's like on these 13 speeds, it's like if you're upshifting, foot on the pedal, go like this, off the pedal, on the pedal, higher gear, and then what next? Depends on what gear you're in. So if you're upshifting, you go back, come back into, oh wait a minute, hold on a sec, let me start over. Kind of got lost. All right, I ain't got time to go through all that. Yeah, it's like when I'm on this, when you come out, like when you go all the way over and go into this gear, it's split up. It's like when you're, let me see, first, second, third. You come out of fourth gear, go into fifth. Oh, no, I think it's sixth. On a straight 10. Well, let me see if I can remember. It's not that one. I think it's first over here. Second, third, fourth, fifth, split it up, 6. And then 7, 8, 9, 10. But on a 13, instead of, hold on a second. Instead of fifth, alright, from fifth to 6 over here, like a 10 speed, it's from fifth to up here. And then, no, it's from fifth to, yeah, and then after that, you put your foot on the pedal. And then when you're ready to upshift, you go like this, get off the pedal and get back on. That's when you're in a higher gear. Yeah. But the thing is, on this one, coming over from here to here, it's gonna grind. It's not really grind. It's gonna rub. It's gonna rub. It's gonna rub. It's like when I come out, I noticed it a couple of times. When I come out over here, when I'm ready to go into this gear, instead of over here, because this is a 13 speed, so it has to come up here. Not over here like a 10 speed. Not like from fifth over here and then come all the way over and go down. This is not a 10 speed. It's from fifth or whatever gear it is, and then you come over and go up first, and that's when you start using the range selector. But on FFE's truck, I think it was 18 speed, I think you come over here and come over here just like a 10-speed, and then you start shifting and use all the way up. That's why this one is so weird. That's why it's so different. So yeah, that was an 18-speed I was driving a long time ago, but the second one was a 13, and now my third one is this 13, this Volvo. So it's like I'm paying a visit back to 2012 again, except that first 13 speed I drove was a Freightliner Columbia, and my second 13 speed is this Volvo right here. My first double range selector, whatever you call it, that was an 18 speed from FFE Transportation. I remember that one. It must have been an 18 speed I was driving first. But anyway, it seemed like when I come out from here to up here, it rubs, it grinds. It's like it's not engaged, even when it's in neutral, like, you know, when it's floating around like that. When I come out from here to there, before I even go inside the gear, it grinds. It's like even if it's floating around like that, it's still rubbing and grinding. So that means I'm thinking it's got some kind of a valve, some kind of a late valve effect, like one of them shifter valves. I'm not so sure. I don't think it's in the transmission. It's somewhere on top of it. I don't know. It's either that or somebody must have bent one of them forks that kind of bring the counter shaft over like that, and then you know that kind of thing. When you go like this, the shifter forks kind of go like this, and they swing the gears over and slide it into the next peg or something like that. It's kind of hard to explain. You see that I don't know, but I'm gonna go ahead and get a diagnostic test. So it's gonna be like $200 an hour. It might be, instead of $400, it might be $600 if it's every 3 hours. Looking at probably close to 1,000, maybe 800. I'm hoping not to be. But they did say that they're gonna show mercy on me. Like, if they don't want me to go any further, if they don't want to go any further and fix it, I should let them know, because they don't want to overcharge me. They sound pretty serious about it. I hope they are. You know how it goes nowadays. When you run into the wrong manager or the wrong shift, they don't treat you right. When you run into the right shift, then they treat you right. I just hope it don't go too bad. But anyways, it floats gears pretty easy. I did have a hard time coming back in here. It seemed like, yeah, the clutch might be worn. I'm not so sure, but it did feel okay. It's just that putting it in reverse, trying to get back here, it couldn't engage. So what happened is, while I was pressing the clutch and I tried to go in reverse, like over here and up there, it wouldn't go in. So I had to, no, wait a minute. Yeah, it wouldn't go in, right? So I had to put it in drive, like forward. I had to put it in first, second gear, or whatever. I had to make it go forward and then go in reverse again. And that's when it went backwards. I'm thinking it's got to be worn clutch. If not, it could be the servo. I don't know. It's one of them clutch components that's kind of weak. It could be the pressure plate springs or diaphragm. They got two different types of pressure plates. They got the spring type with the, what do you call it? The throwout bearing that goes on. They got the flexible bend. No, that's not it. They got the spring types. They got, metal parts that kind of go down like that. And they got the diaphragm type that kind of goes in like that. Like when the throwout bearing goes against it, the diaphragm kind of gets pressed in, and then the pressure plate kind of squeeze tension on the what you call it, the disc plate. What do you call it? Why the hell do I keep forgetting? Yeah, the disc in between the flywheel and the pressure plate. They got two different types of pressure plate. They got the diaphragm type, and I forgot what the other type is. You see that clutch might be worn in some kind of way. But the thing is, when it comes to bobtailing this truck, it's not that much of a problem because I'm not carrying no trailer or nothing. So, plus, you could tell by looking at the tag that I showed you some X amount of hours ago today. I don't know if y'all can catch that video. That one, that's my permanent tag, but it's not gonna stay that way for long because that's an intrastate tag. It's only in the state of Illinois. I don't have the regular truck tag. You see, I think they got two different Illinois truck tags, interstate and outer state, like all 48 states. I got this state because, I'm scared of putting this to use. Not only that, I'm not a scavenger. I don't like driving messed up trucks with smoke coming out of the stack. But just this last two times, it kind of brushed up better. The first time tonight, it didn't really smoke at all. I didn't see none. But I did smell extra smoke coming from not smoke. It didn't burn oil, but I did not smell extra oil coming through the... What am I saying? I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't mean to piss you off. Let me start over again. It's like I didn't really see no smoke coming out in the mirror. But I did smell it kind of extra coming through the vents the first time tonight. The second time it did much better. Even though it did kind of burn the oil close to quarter, when I came back, I cut the engine off and then poured... Let me see if I could see it. I actually poured about somewhere about that much. I'm not so sure. Somewhere about that much. Somewhere about right there. I poured that much oil into it. It came back up. Came back up a little, but it looked kind of messed up. It looked kind of watery. You gotta let it sit for like maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, somewhere. Then the oil looks kind of thick again, and then it kind of gets full. Oil is too watery. But anyway, if it's gonna be burning oil like that, you might as well don't be scared to kind of dump too much extra. Like if you go past full, you might not want to be too scared because it's gonna run down pretty low. It's gonna run down low kind of fast. But anyways, as I go along driving it 2 times a night, instead of me going this way to the Pilot, I went that way to Walmart. It's way much farther. It's more like 5 miles instead of 3 or 4. It felt like 5 miles or more, something like that. But the thing is, as I go along, I started getting used to it. The thing is, it's still, I think it, I know it leans a little bit too hard over on the passenger side. Yeah, the cab body's like lean like that. It must be the suspension, the cab suspension mods or something like that. I don't think it's a shock. It could be. I don't know. It could be the springs. Yeah, the springs might be weak. Other than that, it did drive pretty good. It's just it doesn't sound. It sounds a little bit too. The engine sounds kind of wimpy, and it sounds like a jalopy. But it didn't shake or nothing. I noticed that. It flows kind of smooth. It's just a little too soft. The suspension is a little bit too soft, and the gear stick floats pretty smooth, but It feels a little raggedy. And the clutch, it takes off pretty good and going forward in all gears. It's just that one time when I was when I was trying to back into the spot between them two trucks, that's when it couldn't go in reverse for a while. It's like it went in reverse forward, like three to four times, and then all of a sudden it stopped going in reverse. I'm thinking, I don't know if the clutch disc was getting too hot and it didn't cause any traction or what. I don't know. It's like the more you use it, the worse it kind of gets, a little bad. You gotta wait for the clutch to cool off or something like that. Or you gotta change directions. You gotta go forward then backwards, and that's when it will go backwards. I don't know. I'm thinking it's a clutch disc that's causing it. Alright, I'm getting kind of tired anyway. I just did 2 laps going forward and backward through downtown and came back. It didn't do bad. It seemed like I got confidence in it now. But I am not allowing it to touch any loaded trailers. I don't mind it pulling an empty trailer, just for kicks. Yeah, I can do that. I can test drive it with a trailer. But I am not going to get paid on this truck. It's good enough to drive from here to Georgia and Florida and come back up. But it's just that you gotta pay attention to this. It's like every now and then you might want to add this or check it. You might want to add this like maybe 3 or 4 times during your trip. Like if you're going to drive 1,000 miles with this truck, you're going to have to maybe put oil in it like 4 times, maybe not. But in order to avoid that so many times, keep the RPMs close to 10 and 11 most of the way. Or maybe set the cruise control to that. That's in a handicap position, in a situation like this. Alright, I'll check y'all later. I gotta go.